The mayor of one of the cities under shelter-in-place orders right now following last night's mass shooting. His name is Jason Levesque. He is the mayor of Auburn, Maine, just west of Lewiston. It's a neighboring community. Mayor Levesque, we thank you for joining us. I can only think yesterday as you went through your day, the last thing you thought you'd be doing is having this conversation with us on CBS Mornings, and I'm so sorry that we are having it, and yet it now seems to be your turn. What can you tell us about what law enforcement is saying to you? I know this guy is still on the loose. He's highly trained and highly skilled, which makes him very scary.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's significant more details that I could add other than, at this point, we have law enforcement from throughout the region and federal partners as well, really searching for him. We will get him. It is not a doubt in my mind. It's just a matter of when. And I urge everybody just to stay home, shelter in place, be with your family and friends at this time. And schools are canceled. So just everybody hang tight.
Mr. Mayor, this is Vlad. Do you have any information at all from the preliminary investigation as to why the gunman may have targeted these specific locations?
At this point, we do not. It's an ongoing investigation. There will be a press release in Lewiston of a little bit later on this morning, or press conference, excuse me. So hopefully some more information will be released then. Obviously, we have two major goals right now. One is to capture Mr. Card, the suspect. Second is to provide some solace to the victims and their families at this point in time.
Mr. Mayor, when these incidents happen, we learn about this unfortunate tragedy, but we also learn about these communities. What can you tell us about this area of Maine and the surrounding areas to the rest of the country?
Yeah, it's a great area. Auburn, Lewiston are twin cities separated by a river, but we're joined by so much else. We are one community. So the bowling alley, one of the locations, unfortunately, is our community bowling alley. The bar and restaurant, it's a great place to go with your family and friends. This is a wonderful community of around 60,000 people combined. And, we're tight. This is going to hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Mayor? Mr. Mayor, can you still hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, it sounded like you dropped out for a second. I'm curious about how your people are navigating this, because on one hand, you get families that are getting good news this morning. On the other hand, you get families that are getting the worst possible news. And on the other hand, you have people that still don't know anything. How is everybody handling all of these conflicting emotions, and yourself included?
It's difficult, to say the least. Yeah, I was at the reunification center last night and early this morning, and on one hand, you can see the joy and the relief on people's faces as they're reunified with individuals that witnessed the events. On the other hand, you're talking, consoling individuals who are still waiting to hear. And that lack of knowledge, that lack of information is probably the hardest thing. It's very hard for me, as well as our law enforcement officials, our grief counselors, our clergy that have been there to help these individuals just get through. It's the not knowing that is difficult. And that's really kind of our focus, is to make sure we can get information disseminated to the appropriate people as quick and efficiently as possible.
What are the witnesses telling you about what they did see?
It started, it's again, kind of like a mosaic, if you would, a lot of different images, mostly audio. They just heard pops. They weren't paying attention to the front door. Normally you wouldn't. They're playing cornhole or talking to friends and family or bowling, and they heard noise and they didn't quite understand and it didn't register what it was. A few of them told me, a few individuals that were witnesses said, until the third, fourth, or fifth shot. And that's when things started clicking in. And at that point, there really was no clear consensus of what they saw. But, one can imagine in situations like this, it is mass confusion.
Mr. Mayor, we thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning. We are sending our love, our grace to you and the citizens of Lewiston and Auburn. Mr. Mayor Levesque, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.